Welcome everybody to the yoga class. We will start today's practice in seated position. You are welcome to close your eyes gently, just to have more chances to be focused on your own breath, on your own body, being able to admit the beginning of the practice from this moment. Take a couple of relaxing, cleansing exhales with which I'm inviting you to feel that your legs creating support. Think of an area around your body that legs take to support the upper body, and with the spine, think of sitting against their wall, maybe visualizing your shoulder blades touching the wall, at the same time lengthening through the crown of the head. And every inhalation, visualize lengthening. Every exhalation, try to think of rooting yourself in the space, in the moment. We'll have here 5 more breaths. Just tune into the body, arriving to the mat. With the next inhalation, I would invite you to open your eyes, and we will interlace fingers and we'll start with warming up the wrist. So think of holding your elbows close to the rib cage, so you isolate a movement of the shoulders and elbows, and try and go with the circular movements, just isolating the wrists. And go slowly to notice how their wrist feel, and then change the direction. To change the direction might be a little bit challenging. We unconsciously starting always to something that are comfortable for us to go. So see if you can go opposite direction, the same smoothness, the same circular movement. You might find that the opposite direction feels more intense as well. So another couple of circles here, and then let's extend the right arm, and then just pull fingers toward the chest, pressing the base of the palm away. Try to keep shoulders relaxed, elbows straight. So feeling a bit of a stretch on the medial side of the wrist, and then go opposite, pressing to the top of the wrist palm rather, and feeling some stretch on the lateral side of the forearm. Let's do the same for the left. Just first pulling the fingers toward the chest, pressing the base of the palm away. Definitely the intensity is depend on how you feel. You feel some stretch, but nothing uncomfortable. And then opposite, pressing the back of the palm, keeping the elbows straight. Stretch a little bit here. And let's release. So next one, let's bring the right elbow close to the rib cage. So your arm is now locked to the torso. You have a palm facing the floor, and you are locking your right wrist with the left hand. And we're going to be moving the wrist from side to side. I'm going to be showing it here. So you're basically moving the wrist from side to side. Okay, so the lateral side, you definitely have a lot of range. Medial is very limited. So try to avoid rotating the forearm. So that's why we have a left hand on the top. We want to isolate those movements. So the directions that we not very often exercise in the wrist. And let's do the same with the left. So bringing the elbow close, keeping the forearm parallel to the floor, lock the wrist, and just move the palm. So lateral again, you have quite a lot of angle. Medial might be limited. Medial, you might find how you want to help with the shoulder, and you will try to avoid that. And let's release. So let us make a strong fist, and you're all quite experienced with this one. So very strong fist, and then stretch the fingers, and then again. And you would try to do that as fast as you can. So still keeping the fist strong, still stretching the fingers strong, and go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So shake your arms and maybe go with a couple of shoulder circles, because definitely to do that you can feel the whole arm was involved, and change the direction as well for the shoulders. And finishing that, let us come off the seated position. You would like to have your block somewhere in front of the mat, so we can pick it up later in the flows when we need. And set up your knees wide, press the hips down, stretch your arms, and bring the forehead down to the floor. So be active in this child pose, feeling a stretch along the spine, feeling a bit of the opening in the hips, especially on the back of the hips, feeling the sacrum and area of the sacrum stretched here. And then on next inhale, let's come into the tabletop position. We'll continue with a little bit of a wrist work with having some weight on the wrist. So you're in a tabletop position. We're going to go into circular movements with the shoulders. And try to keep your elbows as straight as possible. You having the hands closer will give you a chance to feel more the lateral road. So just note where the comfortable position for you to have your palms, and coming forward, that's also quite a bit of a load. You put in as much weight as it feels correct for you. Going backward, of course you're releasing. And make sure you're changing direction. So do 2, 3, 5, one direction, and then the same amount of circles the opposite direction. And note where maybe which areas has a bit of restrictions, or something that you would like to admit. And finishing your symmetrical other direction load, and then we're gonna stop here, turning the palms out. So you can start with the shoulder width apart, and then the direction of movement will be just the lateral, from left to right. So for some of you, that might be the only distance between hands that you want to explore. Maybe that's intense enough for you. You might try to bring the hands a little bit closer, so maybe coming with like 2 inches apart, and load from side to side. You will definitely find that this extension of the palm has more restrictions, and some of you might on some point bring your forearms together and try here and note that even more restrictions of their extension could be noticed. So let us have maybe a couple of more movements this way, and then we will just give a wrist a bit of a rest in a contour pose, bring the back of the palms to the floor and stretching the elbows. So you will just feel the flexion of the palm, and depend on how mobile your wrist, you can go straight elbows or you might keep your elbows bent. And from here we'll come on the fist. So you're making the fist and having the thumb just on the top, and coming into tabletop position with the fist. So trying to keep your wrist as straight as possible. You would like to lower the wrist. So here is a strengthening the wrist. So what you do, you're holding your body weight above the fist, but you're going to move your elbows further back. So more weight comes on the fist. If you can sustain this position, maybe some of you want to come into plank. If it's too much, you don't need to. So just have knees a little bit away. And keep shoulders above the fist for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let us just shake the arms. And again, just relax the shoulders a little bit. And then let's tuck the toes and lift the heels off. Maybe stretch a little bit your toes. Stretch a little bit the soles of the feet. And then we'll lift the hips up. Have a moment here with a stretch of the back of the body. Keeping knees maybe a bit bent to start with. Just relaxing the arms, shaking the head, so creating this passive traction of the spine. And then let's slowly roll up into standing position. And in a standing position, we will move toward the front of the mat, and we'll come out. We'll start with just a half sun salutation to warm up the spine first. With inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, hinging all the way into the passive fold. We'll just bend, making sure the body weight distributed equally on the feet, so you're not standing with the locked knees and rounded lower back. And then let's bring the hands below the knees and lift the chest halfway, and making sure you have this lower back flat here. And then from the hips fold forward again. Exhale. And then slowly, vertebra by vertebra, let's roll up into standing position. Exhale. Let's do it again. Inhale. Exhale, floating into the passive fold. Bring the hands on the shins, lift the chest halfway. Maintaining active position. Exhale, folding forward passively. Just very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, roll up, finding where the tension rising, maybe along the neck. Exhale, come into standing. One more time like that. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward, releasing the head. Bring the hands on the shins, lift the chest halfway. Exhale, folding forward. And then very slowly, vertebra by vertebra, roll up into standing position. Exhale. Let's add to that. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward all the way. Then assist yourself with having hands on the floor. Step your left foot back, bend your left knee, into a position of 90 knees and lift the torso up. So you are not in a lunge when your hips moving forward. Your hip stays neutral. Take your arms parallel to the floor and twist to the right and pulse here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return back to the center, bring the hands on the floor and find your first downward dog. In your downward dog, just check your palms, spread your fingers wide, comfortably wide. Have your middle finger straight forward. Try to press your index finger down to the floor and elongate from the base of the palms all the way toward the base of the spine. Trying to create nice traction of the spine. Make sure you're not tensing the back of your neck. Let your head just be dropped down toward the floor. On exhale, drop the knees down and step your left foot forward into the controlled lunge with a neutral position. Note how you need to use the glute strength to stabilize the pelvis here. Take your arms wide and twist to the left and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Return back to the center. Bring the hands on the floor, tuck the toes, and step into the downward dog. Again, start with aligning your fingers, having the palms pressed strongly to the mat, and then lengthening. Taking here another exhale, and then look forward and flow into the plank. Push the floor, feel how shoulders are stable, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go into the downward dog for just one exhale, and then look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Bring the hands on the shins, lift the chest halfway, and then fold forward all the way down. Allow yourself to come up in standing, rolling one vertebra at a time. Slowly roll up into standing. Exhale. We'll go to another flow. Inhale, lift the arms up. Hinging from the hips, folding forward. This time we will step the left foot back and keep the lunge. Keep your left heel looking back. Keep your strong back leg for support. Lift the torso up. Make sure you're grounded here. Lift your arms in front of you and then flex your palms. And now just think that you're pressing the wall away, but you're not pressing the wall from their shoulders, but think that you're pressing the wall from your abdomen, but strong arms, of course, but you're assisting your arms from the core, shoulders down. On exhale, bring the hands on the floor and step into downward dog. And in this downward dog, continue to work with this sensations of pressing the floor away and pressing that not from the shoulders, but from the core. Taking another inhale, coming into plank. Push the floor away. And then drop the knees and come all the way down. Exhale. For the first one on the floor, we're going to have arms on the sides of the hips. Have maybe legs a little bit wider, point the toes. Lift your legs off the floor, lift your chest off the floor, and lift your palms off the floor. Trying to feel engagement of your triceps here as you reach in with the tip of the fingers toward the heels, maintaining neutral spine. Exhale, come down. Bring the hands on the sides of the ribcage, chin to the chest. Exhale, back into the downward dog. Long spine. Step in the right foot a little bit closer to the midline to have more stability as you step in the left foot forward. Lift the torso up. Exhale. Let's again Bring the arms in front and continue to work on the understanding the shoulder alignment when we are in the arm balances. So just imagine you are holding your body with your arms. Engage your core here. Finding how the wrist need to be involved in the support in the arm balancing. Bring the hands to the floor and step into downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, coming into plank, push the floor. So it's the same sensation in the arms and upper back that you just had in the lunge. Drop the knees down and come all the way down. Exhale. For the next one, let's extend the arms to the front and turn the palms up toward the ceiling. You can have your feet slightly apart. Lift your legs a little bit off the floor. Lift your chest and lift your arms. Keep pressing the palms up toward the ceiling and control your upper back. Hold. Exhale, come down. Bring the hands to the sides of the rib cage and come into the downward dog, your own pace. Hold the downward dog. Still thinking of this alignment from the base of the palms to the base of the spine. Exhale, look forward. Walk or step toward the front of the mat. Bring the hands on the shins, lift the chest halfway, and then unfold all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, bring the arms on both sides of the hips. Let's step the left foot back into the warrior two legs. So your back foot is parallel to the edge of the mat, your front knee 90 degree. And then from here, let's lift the arms up. And again, we're gonna flex the palms and just think that you're holding the ceiling. And again, try to avoid lifting of the shoulders. Just think, if you are really holding the ceiling, can you hold the ceiling just with your arms? Probably not. So start engaging more of a core area here to support. Feel that your legs is a strong support of the ceiling as well. Arms just assisting to hold the ceiling. And let's from here extend the arms, still having the palms flexed. You're gonna feel more work for the inner forearms here to hold this position. Press it to the both sides equally. Again, using the core strength. And then release the arms. Let's bring the front knee straight and then from the right hip, fold into triangle body. Have your left hand on your lower back and then let's extend the right arm parallel to the floor. Rotate your left shoulder back and look up above your left shoulder. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the right hand to the hip crease and fold. Let us build the other side. Rotate to the other side. Bend your left knee. Have a back foot parallel to the floor. We'll take the arms up again. I would like you to think of using both legs, and especially the back leg is helping you to assist in this hold. As if you just collapse into your front leg, you will be not able to hold the ceiling because it's just your left quadricep working. When you're finding your back leg really stable and the core, you suddenly feel that the load on the arms are released. Bring your arms on the sides. Feel how you're pressing the palms to the both direction. Keep shoulders down. And keep again thinking of pressure, like you want to take your walls wider, and it all comes from the core. Release the arms, bring the front knee straight, and let's fold into triangle pose with your torso. Right hand on the lower back, take your left arm parallel to the floor. Hold 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, One, release your left arm, come all the way up. Let us turn the toes slightly in and step as wide as you feel comfortable in your hips. As I would like you to come with the hands on the floor and set your hands shoulder width apart, and then you are folding forward and trying to bring the crown of the head as low as possible, and then walk your hands slightly toward the line with your heels, bringing your forearms perpendicular to the floor, and start pressing the floor again a little bit. Just like think that you want to go to the arm balance, like you want to kick your legs up. You're not really doing that. So I'm going to be with my side here. Just watch I will try to show you my forearms. So my forearms going back into line of the heels to create triangle. So my crown of the head is going to reach the floor, and the base of the palms, they will create triangle. This is one of the position that we're using for the headstand from this, but we're not going to go to the handstand, but I want you to press the floor and start activating the upper back and pulling the belly in. Just think how you will start kicking your legs up. So you need to be really strong and supported from the upper body, and then just release and roll up into standing position. Exhale and go heels, toes, back to the center, and we'll reach back to the front of the mat for one more flow. When you're ready, inhale the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Hands on the shins, lifting the chest up. Touch the floor and step the left foot back. And this time, try to step the distance that you can. Put your left heel down to the floor. Find the two blocks that you have on the sides of the mat, and come to the tip of the fingers, aligning your hips forward. So you would like to be flat in your lower back, as flat as possible, keeping the shoulders coming forward. So shoulders are exactly above the blocks. If you're finding that you want to separate the legs a little bit away from alignment to have more space for your left hip to come down, definitely do so. And then just feel that you don't need the block. Your legs are here, the pyramid that holding you. Take your arms on both sides of the head, holding 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the arms and step into downward dog. Exhale. Head between the arms. And next inhale, come into plank. Push the floor, tug the tailbone under, and then drop the head, knees, and come all the way down. For this one, you have your hands in the traditional position for cobra on the sides of the rib cage. Strong legs. Lift the torso up into baby cobra. Feel how all posterior chain muscles are helping, assisting the spine into extension. Then press the floor, chin to the chest, around, and come into the downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, look forward and walk to the front of the mat. Bring the hands on the shins, lift the chest halfway, and then unfold all the way up. Inhale, exhale, bring your arms on the sides of the hips. Let's flow with the other side. Inhale, exhale, floating down. Stepping the right foot back, using the blocks to assist you in alignment here. Having just the tip of the fingers eventually touching the block. Squaring the hips. It feels like you pull the left leg into the left hip socket, dropping the right hip, maintaining neutral position. When you're ready, take your arms on both sides of the head, holding 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the arms and step into the downward dog. Exhale. In the downward dog, you should feel same sensation of the spinal elongation you just felt in pyramid pose. On inhale, flow into plank. Drop the knees and come all the way down. Exhale. Have the hands on the sides of the rib cage, shoulders back, strong legs. Lift chest off the floor. Then press the floor and come into downward dog. Exhale. On next inhale, look forward. Step or walk to the front of the mat. Bring the hands on the sheets. Lift the chest halfway. And then unfold all the way up. Inhale. Exhale. Bring the arms on both sides of the hips. Let us take both blocks and place them to start with on your palms. So let us first find the left palm holding, like you're holding there, like you're serving the plate. So if you're gonna have your plates this way, the food will fall off, right? So you want to maintain the block parallel to the floor. And then the second one, you rotate and you press up toward the ceiling. And here we'll bring the body weight to the left, to the right foot, of course, and you stabilize in the right side with strong arm and strong right leg. Lift your left knee and then open the block out. Flex the foot, trying to lift the left knee high. Continue to press. Don't relax your right arm. Continue to press it up. Engage your core and hold. Try to keep your forearm parallel to the floor, so don't lift it up. Find a way to work on the external rotation of the shoulder. And then release the leg and release the arms. You can just place the blocks down to shake your arms if you need. And we'll do it again, having the blocks on the palms. And we will press the left block up. Bring the body weight to the left foot and we'll flex the right foot, pressing the left hand up, having strong the left side of the body, and then open the right knee, trying to keep the forearm parallel to the floor. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the leg, release the block. Again, if you need, release the block, shake your arms. For the next balance pose, we will use just one block, holding the block on the side of it, taking this overhead, and bring the body weight to the right leg. We're going to lift the left leg, flex the foot, and we'll come into the fold. Keeping straight arms, trying not to allow the left shoulder to fall in. Open yourself, so you want to be parallel to the plane behind you. Keep reaching with the head toward the block. At the same time, keep anchoring yourself with a very strong left leg. And see if you can go a little bit lower with the torso and a little bit higher with the leg. And release. So let's go to the other side, holding the block overhead, bringing the body weight to the left foot, flex the right and the lean, and hold. Reaching with the head out, having strong anchor of the right leg, flexing the foot, and see if you can go a little bit lower, and release. Okay, so we have one more balance pose today. So we will be using the block and bringing the body weight to the right leg, have it a soft knee, not bent but soft, and bench the left knee with the flexed foot. Now from the hip hinges, we're going to fold forward, and I want you to place the block on your lower back. So the block should stay there, it should not fall as you extend the left leg back. And if you're able, you can extend the arms forward and keep your hips square. And the indication that it's square is your block. Hold here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring your hands to the hips and unfold. Shake your legs and we'll go on this side. So bring the body weight to the left foot. Soft knee, bend the right knee, knees together, flex foot. From the hip hinge forward, the block is on your hips. Neck is neutral. Extend your leg. You should feel how the hips sit above the left heel. Your left hamstring is working hard. You might extend your arms. Right foot is active, so you feel your hamstring, you feel your glute, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Catch the block and unfold. Let's release the blocks to the front of the mat and come into the moment of the stillness on the front of the mat. You can even close your eyes. With the couple of last balance poses, you definitely feel the back of your body engage. You should feel the whole posterior chain, but also you should feel yourself quite framed with active muscles on the sides of the torso. So with this sensation, you are able to maintain your ideal posture. Make sure that your breath is not short, that you're exhaling in full, and let's flow again. Inhale, lift the arms up. Hinging from the hips, exhale all the way down. Bring the hands on the shins, lift the chest halfway. Touch the floor and step the left foot back, strong the legs. Inhale the arms up into the warrior 1 with traditional position of the arms. But feel how arms are strong and try at the same time feel yourself grounded here. On exhale, drop the left heel. Bring your right elbow inside the right knee and take your left arm up into extended triangle. Hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look down to the floor. Bring your both hands on the sides of the right foot and drop your left knee down to the floor. Reach to the block on the left side and bring the block under the left shoulder. Bring the right hand on the right side and then tuck the toes and lift your left knee off the floor. So between the block and the foot you have probably a foot distance. Use your right hand to rotate yourself to the right, but make sure you're not collapsing to your block. Back leg is supporting here. If you're comfortable, you can take your right arm up toward the ceiling or have the right hand on the lower back, maintaining the grounding here with this right arm. The left heel wants to reach down to the floor, so you want to unload the right quad. Reaching with the crown of the head and left shoulder forward. Exhale, unfold and find your step into the downward dog. So let us have 3 breaths in downward dog. After this twist, we want to let the spine rest. On next inhale, come into your plank, drop the knees and come all the way down. Exhale. Have the hands on the sides of the rib cage and lift the torso up, maintaining this baby cobra integral with all the muscles of the posterior chain activated. Chin to the chest, exhale. Come into the cat stretch and then into the downward dog. This downward dog is to step the left foot forward into lunge, lift the torso up and take the arms up into the warrior one. So we are starting with traditional position of the warrior one. Use the back leg. Try to be balanced between both feet. Drop the right heel down and bring the left elbow inside the left knee. Take the right arm up into extended triangle. Try not to have your hips going too high. Drop the hips as low as you can. On next exhale, look down to the floor, rotate the back foot and drop the right knee down first. Find your block. Bring the block under the right shoulder. Bring the left hand on the left thigh. Tuck the right toes and lift the right knee off the floor. And then start rotating to the left. And you can have your left hand on your lower back, emphasizing the grounding through the back leg, or take your left arm up toward the ceiling. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release left hand down and step into the downward dog. Exhale. Taking another exhale, look forward, flow into the plank. Drop the knees, come all the way down. Inhale, come into cobra one more time. Exhale, come into the child pose. Having the arms on the sides, your favorite position for the arms. Let us lift the head and find yourself sitting in 90-90 position. So having your left knee in front. Let's start with the right knee in internal rotation. You have your left heel aligned with the right knee aligned with the right hip. So that's a 90. And just first sit tall and let yourself to feel comfortable here. And then you probably will need to lean to the left a little bit. If you are quite comfortable with the back hip, you can interlace the hands and hold your center. We would like to lift the right leg off the floor. So you will be leaning a little bit to the left when you're reaching. And then move this knee to the front. So you still sit on the left hip, you have your knee above the knee, and then open, keeping the heel above the heel, open the right knee into external rotation, then close it back and move it back. Hold here, shin parallel to the floor, and then drop. We have 2 more to repeat. Lean a little bit if you need, lift. Bring it to the front, open, close, move it back, and drop. And let's do it again. Lift, bring to the front, open, close, move to the back, and release. Let us release the legs, shake them a little bit. And we'll go to the other side. So first of all, finding 90-90. On the other side with the left hip might not be so happy with this internal rotation. So find yourself, sit comfortably. Make sure that this back heel is not coming too close to your back. So you have a 90-degree here. And then again, you might start with hands interlace, so engaging more of a core, but if your hips are not very mobile, you might need to lean to the right. Lift your left leg off the floor and then bring it to be parallel and then open, and then close, and then move back, hold here, and then drop. So try not to help yourself with the shoulders. Try to isolate. So lift the left leg, bring it to the front, open, close, move it back, drop. Let's do it again. Lift, bring it to the front, open, close, move it to the back, and release. Great. So let us shake the legs here, and we're going to be using the block for the supported bridge to start with. So we're coming on the floor, and let us bring the block under the sacrum. So with the hip work, we might feel that the lower back was a little bit jammed, a little bit compressed. So let us just first create the traction of the lower back. So that doesn't feel like a lot of work for now, but using the gravity, you definitely creating some traction on the lower back. If you like to work a little bit on the shoulders, you have opportunity here to bring your arms into the cactus pose, so 90-degree elbows, okay? And just notice what happened in your wrist. If you're able to have your wrist flat or your wrist are extended. So if your wrists are extended like this, so just keep your wrist straight, even if your palms are not reaching the floor, keeping your wrist straight. And make sure your elbows are not close to the rib cage, they're in 90-degree. And let us lift the right forearm perpendicular to the floor. So same cactus position, but now the forearm perpendicular to the floor. And without flexing the palm, try to bring the palm down to the floor. So you internally rotate your shoulder. Just notice how that feels. You might not reach, you see, I'm not reaching the floor because if I want to touch the floor, I will flex my palm. I want to keep my palm straight. And then return the forearm back into perpendicular to the floor, and then bring the palm down. Let's do the same with the left. Bring the left arm up 90-degree, forearm perpendicular to the floor, and then continue into internal rotation of the shoulder till you feel that's it. But you're keeping the wrist straight. And then bring the forearm back into 90, and then release. Let's do it again with the right. Hold here for the breath, and then very slowly continue. Just finding, you might find that second set already you're going further with the palm. Let's return the forearm perpendicular, and then back into cactus pose. Left arm come up, and slowly you're forcing your left shoulder into internal rotation in a locked position. Locked position means that we are on the floor, so we cannot compensate. Bring the forearm up and back to cactus. Last time with the right one, just one arm at a time. Bring it down, and then bring it up and release, and then go with the left all the way. Noticing that left shoulder might have less mobility and come all the way. And just one time we're going to try to do both arms. So bring both forearms perpendicular to the floor, and then bring them down. You might feel much more restrictions here when we're doing two shoulders simultaneously. So more restrictions here, and then release the arms, and maybe release the arms on the both sides of the hips. Let's from here remove the block and very slowly bring the hips down to the floor. Go one at a time, bring the knees to the chest and rock from side to side. Let's then extend the left leg and take the right leg up. You can keep flex foot. Actually, I prefer flex feet, both left and right, and have your arms on the side of the hip. So just palms facing the floor. Maintain your neutral spine, and let's very slowly lower the leg, but not touching the floor. So lower like 1 inch off the floor, and then very slowly lift the left leg, right leg up, keeping the knee straight. Let's again bring in the leg down, but not touching the floor, 1 inch, maintaining neutral position, lifting the leg up. One more time, bringing it down and lifting it up. This time we'll bring the arms in T position, still right leg. Let us drop the right leg to the side, but not rotating off the floor with the left hip. Just exploring the external rotation of the hip. Feel some stretch in the inner thigh. Lift the leg up. Let's do it again. Open the leg, maintaining the sacrum flat on the floor, and bring the leg up. One more time, open the leg, flex foot, bring the leg up, and then bend the knee. If you find that you need to shake your hips, your lower back, please do so. And we're going with the left leg. Extend the right leg, extend the left leg up toward the ceiling. So if you have a very tight hamstring, it's quite challenging to keep the knee straight. So release the leg till your knee is straight, okay? Arms could be on the sides of the hips. I'm going to lower the left leg just 1 inch off the floor, maintaining neutral position, and lift the leg up. Let's lower this again. Hold here with a flex foot, maintaining neutral position, lifting the left leg up. And one more time, lowering the leg and lift the leg. And here arms goes to T, and we will open the left leg to the side, maintaining the right hip grounded, and release up. And again, dropping toward the floor. You're not going to be reaching the floor. It's not possible. Hips are flat on the floor. And bring it up. And last time, drop the leg, hold it, and lift it up. And again, bend the knee. If you need to adjust the hips, please do so. Arms will stay in T position. We will extend the left leg, and let us move the hips to the right, just a little bit toward the right edge of the mat to give us more space to rotate. Drop the right leg across. You can keep the knee bent, keep your right shoulder on the floor, rotate the gaze toward the right palm. If you like to go into a cactus pose, you can go. You will feel quite a lot of restrictions in the right shoulder. But if you want to keep it more relaxed, you just keep your arms where the right shoulder loves to be on the floor. Taking another exhale here. And very slowly unfold. So return back to the midline to rest, and then move the hips to the left edge of the mat, extend your right leg, and then bend the left knee and drop it across the body. You can use the right hand to direct, and then keep your arms relax if you like, or cactus pose. Always opportunity to work more on the shoulders, and rotate the gaze to the left. Another exhale, unfold back, set your body back on the center of the mat, and let's lift the legs up. Bring the feet together, open the knees wide, just like a butterfly. Try to work a little bit by taking the knees away from the torso, stretching a little bit the groin area here. And you're welcome to stay just here, or you can come into the happy baby pose. In a happy baby pose, please avoid to roll off the floor with your tailbone. Try to keep your sacrum flat. Shins are perpendicular to the floor. Ideally, you can hold the big toes. You can hold the outer edge of the feet. You can hold the ankle. You can hold behind the knees. Whatever feels right for you. Make sure shoulders are relaxed. Sometimes it feels right to slightly rock and massage the lower back. You can do this as well. Great stretch for the glutes and hamstrings here. Maybe if you like to stretch more hamstrings, you can hold the big toes and extend your knees, keeping elbows soft here. But again, to do this, you avoid it to round in your lower back. You need to be here in neutral position. And then we'll release the big toes, but we'll keep the legs up. We'll take the arms up and we'll just shake it. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then find your legs coming comfortably to the mat. Your arms goes to the mat. Adjust the back of the head to start. We always have a tendency to tense the back of the neck, so create the space there. Let your toes fall apart. Exhale. You definitely feel some warmth in your legs and your hips area as that the last part that we targeted. And try to keep your arms in a position that you feel your shoulders externally rotating, creating some space on the front of the chest. And from here we'll just practice stillness. Practice the observation of the body in stillness, noticing the sensations that are arising. Most sensation connected to the blood circulation increase after the practice. But you can feel very personal emotions or sensations in the body that you don't need to analyze right now, but just collect to keep it in a corner of your mind. Allow a bit of a depth in your breath. Just then start moving your fingers and toes, circling wrists and ankles, till you're ready to bring your knees to your chest and rock from side to side. And then when you're ready, just roll to one side, using the arm to come into their seated position. Come into a comfortable seated position. It not necessarily have to be cross-legged. You might bring the hands to the knees to find the long spine, your perfect seated posture, and then bring the hands in front of the heart. Take a moment to admit the end of the practice. Maybe you had your personal intention for that practice. You can return for that in your mind. Thank yourself for having time and energy to be on the mat. Practice the different position of the body. Learn more of the joints, muscles, respiratory system, and your mind. Take any results of it to be a guide through the mindful movement of the day. Namaste.